Hey, welcome to level 3 of the Gamers Pass podcast, where we gather together each week. We just chat about everything video games. We love video games. We're all gamers, and we just love being immersed into the entire gaming world. My name is Paul, and joining me this week is Lee Everett. Lee, how you doing today?
Doing great, thanks. How are you?
Doing great, awesome. And next we have Jakey Jones. Jake, how you making out, sir?
I'm doing very well, my man. Thank you. Very well.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on level 3 of the Gamers Pass podcast. Now, a quick announcement. Last week, you saw Logan, a.k.a. Lightsy. For some odd reason, I was going back and forth calling her Logan. Lightsy. I can't help it. That's just me. I see the name. I know their first names, and then I see their names down in the chat, and it's just, I'm old, and that's just the way it works. So, just as a heads up, Logan has agreed to join us officially. Every week. She's not here this week because she works one weekend every month, and so she will be here 3 weekends pretty much every month, if not all 4, and we will try to get a substitute for the days she's not in. We do have some people that want to join us and chat and have a good time, so overall, I'm really looking forward to having her. She was great last week. She had great Pokemon knowledge. Her and Jake carried us. Lee and I, Jake and Lightsy carried Lee and I as our Pokemon knowledge is almost nil. And so it's all good though. We're gonna have a good time, gentlemen. How was your week?
My week was good. I'm very busy with work now, but yeah, it was good.
Lee, how was your week, sir?
Yeah, the week was good, but I'm glad it's the weekend. You know?
Absolutely. Did you work yesterday at all?
No, I don't work Saturdays.
Oh, nice. That's so good. I don't work the weekends either. I love it.
Neither do I. That's great.
Yep.
I love having it off.
All right, so we're going to jump right into it now. We're going to cover, this week we've got Xbox, we've got Nintendo, we've got PlayStation. We've got everything this week, and we're super excited about. And Jake is going to talk to us about a new game announcement, which is extremely exciting. It's coming out to PlayStation 5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Steam this year. Jake, what is that game?
That game is Aliens Fireteam. Basically, it's a third-person shooter, basically bringing back the Aliens franchise in terms of a Left 4 Dead sort of scenario.
Ooh. I love Left 4 Dead, man. That's so much fun.
Yeah. So basically how it works, that the game is set, I think it's 23 years after the original Alien trilogy.
Okay.
And you basically play in a group of 3 Marines. This can be with either 2 online friends, random online players, or bots. They've mentioned that.
Nice.
And
okay.
4 different campaigns, and each one has internal progression. There's a variety of different weapon attachments you can use. There's loads of different weapons, abilities. There's different classes for the characters as well. So you've got your Marine, you've got your Medic, you've got your Heavy Gunner character. You've got a variety of different characters that you can play as with their own unique abilities and weapons, which I think is
cool.
So
when you mentioned that there was 3 of them, could you also do like a couch co-op? Is that an option?
I don't know if it's couch co-op. They've said that it's either 3 online people, so like you and 2 other random people online.
Right.
So yeah, basically, I don't think they've mentioned having couch co-op. If they had, that would be really cool.
That would be cool.
But now it's just mentioning about having either playing with 2 random online people, 2 of your friends on your Xbox, PS, PlayStation, PC, or they now can also, you can have bots to join you.
I think that's a must. The inclusion of bots in these games is a must. It's just there's some games where we're playing multiplayer, like when we play Splatoon 2, we talk about we could play private lobbies or whatever and just have bots join us, and so you have a full, if you don't get a full group of 8 people, but the bots is cool. I think that's a good idea.
Definitely, I really like that, especially if you don't have online. So if you don't have a Steam account, if you don't have PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live, being able to play with bots as well it will still make you feel like you're also part of that community as well.
Sure. Now, I only read a little bit about this. I didn't watch the video. I didn't check any of that out. It said something about a bunch of different enemies, and including a whole bunch of different xenomorphs as well.
Yes, they
Okay.
did. There's more than 20 simple and iconic face huggers
Okay. Oh
to
my gosh, yes.
to the royal base. I don't know the second part of them, but they're like
Yep.
big royal ones. So yeah, there's a variety of different enemies and xenomorph characters in there. So they're adding a huge variety in there. So that's pretty cool.
Okay. Now, they talk about any different weapons and different stuff. I know you said there's like several attachments and all that stuff.
Um, I think they sort of had a brief mention about the different weapons.
Okay.
I think they said there's up to 70 different attachments for each of the weapons.
Okay.
So that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
And they all have their own unique attributes to bring to the weapons as well, which makes them unique.
That. Okay.
Yeah, I love freedom in games.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, for sure, Lee. I never played any of the Alien trilogy. The only Alien game I played was Alien Isolation. And Jake, when this was announced, I know you said you loved playing the trilogy and stuff. What was
Yeah.
the trilogy like?
I played Aliens versus Predator on the 360.
Okay.
Basically, it's 3 campaigns. You play as Marines, you can play as Aliens, or you can play as Predators. And they all sort of combine in their own unique way.
Okay.
From like when you're playing, I liked playing as the Aliens because you have a real sense of like fear.
Yep.
You know, you're like sort of like crawling around everywhere, and I like playing as Marines as well because you can be walking around in pitch black, you can't see anything, and there's like
no
a radio,
way.
and it will go blip, blip, and then it will die out a bit, and then
Yep.
it will go blip, 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 and like if there's something around you, as Xenomorphs,
Oh,
can
that's
just
scary.
Yeah,
face
that's
off.
intense, eh?
And online as well, they implemented it so that all 3 different like classes could play. So it could be Marines versus Aliens and Predators. So you'd all be fighting against each other as well, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one. But I didn't really play much of Isolation.
Oh my
So
gosh, I streamed
I
that, beat it. It's a beautiful, scary experience. Alien Isolation. I highly recommend it. It's such a fun
they have
game.
another one, Colonial Marines. I think they have Aliens, Colonial
Yeah.
Marines, didn't they?
I didn't hear good things about that, but I could be messing it up with something different. But yeah, Marines, I'm not sure if it was that good or not.
Okay.
Let us know in the chat if you have played Aliens, Marines, whatever. Let us know if it was good or not. Lee, are you a fan of the Alien franchise? Not necessarily games, but movies and such.
Yeah. I mean, they're a lot of fun. I can't say that I enjoy a lot of sort of horror films, but I do
horror
enjoy
movies.
those.
No,
I think they're
okay,
great.
that's cool. The Xenomorph came out for Fortnite or Fartnite, and Isaac was
Yeah.
my 10-year-old was super excited that came out. I don't know why. He thought it was cool, and I think he actually bought it. And I was like, I'll show you the movie if you want. And he's like, oh no, this is good. I'll just watch this. Kid's 11, right? That's awesome. All right, any more on Alien Fireteam or Aliens Fireteam?
Yeah, so yeah, as I just mentioned, so there's over 30 weapons. The game has RPG elements into it as well. So
okay.
Yeah, so yeah, as with the 4 different campaigns, it's all sort of like you're all taking control of a character in each of those stories.
Yep.
And you're progressing through it. So I quite like the fact it's got RPG elements into it, but it's not just like an action or like a horror game. So there's like in terms of like you're playing as a character and you're progressing the character with the story at the same time. So I really like that element into it. But yeah, and I think they also mentioned that they had plans for post DLC as well to it.
Okay.
So
yep,
that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
If you want to check more on this, go to aliensfireteam.com. The website has everything you want to know. I just copied and pasted the web link, and I really didn't read too much on it because I know Jake was excited for this, and so that's really cool. All right,
awesome.
We're gonna jump into some Nintendo stuff right now. Mario Golf, some new information came out. I thought this was really cool, and this is a game that I'm getting. And so all the new info that comes out, I'm gonna keep talking about it. Honestly, I'm just really excited with the games I'm getting, but also other games as well. But Mario Golf, you start out as a rookie Mii character, developing your skills and interacting with Mushroom Kingdom characters, which is kind of cool. It goes on to say, in Mario Golf Super Rush Story Mode, you'll earn experience points and use them to up your game and different attributes. You can also use you're meeting in versus play as well, which I
Nice.
think is cool. That's almost like an RPG sort of thing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, added to Mario Golf.
Alex, from even watching that trailer, I was like, holy moly, I'm getting that day one.
Yeah, and I love the fact, like, the whole rush mode where you play, like, other games have kind of rush golf, right? Like, but not as intense as Mario's looking. You all hit your balls at the same time. It looks like you just beat the crap out of each other until you get to your ball and put it in first.
Yeah, I can imagine us lot playing that and getting mad with each other on the stream.
Absolutely. Darn you, Jake. It's going to be great. Lee, is this something you're interested in Mario Golf, even though, like, you just get into the Nintendo games, so, like, all these games we're playing, you're like, crap, that's more money, more money, more money.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly an investment, all of this, but I'm sure it'll be worth it to get on with it.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, like Pokemon, gotta catch them all.
Yeah, exactly. All these Nintendo games, gotta get them all. It's so cool. Nintendo is killing it with all these new games. The last Mario Golf I played, I heard it was one for 3DS, but I never played that. But Mario 64 or Mario Golf 64 was so much fun, and my wife and I actually played that a lot together, and so we'll be able to play this one when it comes out.
Yeah, there was a Mario Golf game on the 3DS.
Okay.
It was actually called Mario Golf World Tour.
Oh,
so,
wait a minute, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, because I hadn't played that one. I played the one on the GameCube, Toadstool Tour.
Okay.
That was the one I played. And that was a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, back then I didn't know what it was. Golf was.
Yep.
I thought, like, why is Mario swinging this metal stick at a little white ball? But as I got older, obviously, I appreciated golf for what it was.
Sure.
And now, especially that they've brought back the series in terms of they're making Mario sports games more enjoyable now,
my gosh,
and they're going to implement story modes and all that into it. It's going to entice a whole new set of fans.
Yeah.
To it as well. So that's a day one purchase.
I want lots of DLC characters. I want lots of unlockables. I love unlockables. I really love unlockables.
We know you love your collect unlockables.
I really do. I thoroughly enjoy them. Lee?
It keeps coming back.
Yeah. It has that longevity of the game, especially even if it's not just necessarily DLC. Like, unlockables for me are just so much fun, and they do go back. I don't know how far, but I remember in Mario Golf for the 64, you more you played, you unlocked certain characters as well. So and there's so many great Nintendo characters that are officially Nintendo characters that could be part of this Mario Golf game. So
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Smash Ultimate. There's so many characters there.
Unbelievable. I don't even know how many, and they just announced 2 new characters, or one character that you can play as 2 people.
I think they're already out because I've seen someone streaming Smash Bros. And they've been using them.
Yep.
So
it's wild. The Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I think there's got to be about 60, 70 characters, if not more.
Yeah.
I would get that, but it's not the fact it's too expensive. It's like what you mentioned, putting the time and investment into it, because you're be playing against players who have put probably thousands. It's like with Splatoon, playing with people that have put hundreds, maybe thousands of hours into it.
Yep.
That's what makes you sort of unplayable in comparison to them, because they'll know all the character special moves, their abilities, the right ways to play it.
Yep. Especially with no matchmaking.
Yeah, exactly.
You get somebody level 92 named Rebecca just thrashing somebody as level 3 or level 4, right? It's not fun. Oh boy, Lee, you missed a great stream yesterday, my friend.
Lee, you were Paul was getting very.
anyways, anything else on Mario Golf, guys?
No, I'm just really looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward to that day one.
All right, we are going to jump right in to this week's PokeWatch. And this is going to be a reoccurring segment every week where we talk about a Pokemon game or what's coming out or different things that are coming out for a Pokemon game in the future. We all know 25th anniversary. We covered it heavily last week in level 2.
Yep.
This week in level 3, though, again, games that I'm getting, Pokemon Snap. I am super excited for this game. And now I did dig up some more information on that. And we're going to have a little announcement here in a little bit at the end of this. But your Pokemon photo decks, his photos you have taken in New Pokemon Snap, but you can keep your favorites in your personal album. You can also just lighting elements and extra flair with stickers, filters, and more. I know we talked about that. That is kind of cool, though. Overall, I'm not a really big creative sort of dude, but you give me a list of stuff and I can just do something with it. So that's all right. But Lee, did you say you were going to get Pokemon Snap, or because what we have planned now you're like, oh, I got to get it now?
It's a bit of both. I mean, like having everything planned is actually giving me like a lot of motivation to get it.
Yes. And we're going to talk about that in a sec. Nintendo tweeted this out. Want to share your skills as a pro Pokemon photographer? You can compete with new Pokemon Snap players around the world through online ranking. Now, Nintendo stole this idea from me. I'm just saying, because I told these two boys early in the week, hey, I got this idea what we're going to do. So Nintendo's going to actually have online ranking that you can compete with other people around the world. I think that's awesome because I came up with the idea. So check this out. From the total photo deck score to research expedition scores, display your skills on the global leaderboards. Now,
Nice.
what we have planned on this channel and our Discord that you need to join so you can be all ready for this, all of us playing Pokemon Snap are actually going to compete against each other. We'll have competitions each week. We'll announce them on this podcast. And we're going to say, hey, this is the Pokemon or a couple Pokemons. Get the best score possible and submit it to our Discord and compete against the other people that are playing. I came up with that idea, Nintendo, and Nintendo stole it. And I just think that's going to be a fun idea, a good community thing. And those of you that are watching that are here just for the Pokemon Snap stuff, because I always leave the timestamps for you, join our Discord and join in our Pokemon Snap fun. It is going to be good. Now, Jake, did you say you are getting Pokemon Snap?
Absolutely. Absolutely, my man. I'm getting that day one purchase for me. Absolutely.
Mine is already paid for. Lee, you're going to have to get a 4th and 5th job, sir.
Yeah. I mean, you're developing a trend here of people stealing your work.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
It is all good. The thing is I have a bunch of ideas. It's just I don't always implement as many. I just I got this idea. Like this year for my channel, the whole thing is to do this great big Game Pass competition all year and play Game Pass games, and I've not played one on stream. I've played Nintendo games all stream. So Nintendo has just wrapped its lasso around my heart and pulled it close to me. You remember me, Paul, don't you?
And I think also now with all the awesome games coming out for Nintendo, it's going to just entice that even stronger.
Absolutely, yeah. Because what's coming out for Xbox besides Halo Infinite?
Nothing really. There's not really much in terms of games that I would say that I would buy on launch.
Yep.
Probably with the exception of Mass Effect and Aliens Fireteams, probably nothing else really catches my eye. But with Nintendo, Pokemon, Zelda, Mario Golf, that's sort of it's who's winning now in terms of bringing community to Nintendo right now.
It's so good.
So, definitely.
That is our PokeWatch for the week, and next week we do have some special information about a remake of Pokemon that's coming out, and we'll talk about that later. March 9th, today is March 7th, we're filming this, podcast will be up later today. March 9th on Tuesday is the new, or not new, I guess it's already out for other systems, but coming to Nintendo Switch, Apex Legends. Now, Jake, you are a super fan of Apex Legends. The game's free to play, of course, but I'm assuming they'll have different bundles and all of that. Is this a game, and we've already discussed this a little, is this a game that you want to play on your Switch, and do you think the Switch is going to be able to handle when you get in those heated battles?
It's not a game I'm going to play for my Switch.
Okay.
Personally. I like the fact that they are now bringing it outside of just, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. They're expanding it even further.
Which is awesome.
Which is an awesome concept. But I just don't. And also, you've got to remember it's cross-platform. PC players are.
Oh yes.
They are insanely, especially considering Apex runs so much faster and smoother on PC than it does on Xbox and PlayStation. Also, with the Switch's Joy-Cons, or if you're not using the Pro Controller, you'll be using the Joy-Cons. Imagine trying to play Apex with a tiny little thing like that in your hand.
No, I can't.
I just don't think it's going to. For me, I don't think it's going to work, but I will appreciate it if it does work, if that makes sense, because I'm a big fan of Apex. I love Apex. It's one of my favorite games I play. But I think also the fact in terms of cross-platform, Nintendo Switch players are going to be not as skilled, and it's going to take them a lot longer to adjust to it compared to PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And also, I just don't think it's going to work. However, I will appreciate it if it does work.
Sure.
So,
Lee?
I think it's quite ambitious of Nintendo. I think it's possible that they could do it. Like, it could work. The main issue that I see for me is the cross-platform, because there'll be a lot of people who will only exclusively have the Switch.
Yep.
yeah.
And they won't have like had as much time put into Apex as like all the consoles, and so they'll be coming late into the game, and it'll be a lot harder for them to climb, and with that they'll probably fall short. If it was just like lobbies full of only Nintendo, I could see it probably working better. But with it being like everyone in, I think Nintendo players will fall short. Not only because it's a bit of it's an unorthodox console, but more so that like there aren't any other battle royale games on like that Nintendo do.
Yep.
So it's like it just makes it that much more pronounced.
Sure. Yeah. For me, it is the frame rate. How bogged down is it going to get? Will it maintain the 30? Because Nintendo's not going 60 frames per second on the Switch. It's really not. But when I think about that, my mind goes back to Overwatch on the Switch, and I watched a couple reviews because I wanted to get it because I do like Overwatch. I played it for a while, but it was the whole thing. I can't dedicate a lot of time to get really good at it to compete. So, in handheld mode, Overwatch is solid. And now here's the weird thing: when you dock the Switch and play Overwatch, it's not so good. Which is I don't understand why, but I cannot play on a Joy-Con. My hands are too big to play on a Joy-Con, no joke. Like, I have my Pro controller. Where are you? Right here. This is what I play.
I use mine now. So
you got a Mario one. That's cool. But like,
I have to plug mine in for it to work though. But I want to get another one.
This is my little Joy-Con. It's too hard to play on my manly hands. Yeah. I can't do it. Yeah. And you have to play Mario Party with the Joy-Con, so that kind of sucks. But it's just something you have to do. So that's my issue. But if they can pull it off, you guys are right. That's great. Like, the Pro controller is a top-notch controller. It's just like the Xbox One controller. Fantastic. So we'll see what happens. You know what? We should probably give it a try. Like, all three of us. Lee, how's your internet working and stuff? It's good, eh?
Yeah, I could give it a go.
We should try it and report next week.
I would, I'm down for that.
All
just
right.
To see. Yeah.
All right, I gotta take note of that. But we should give that a go. I think that'll be homework for next podcast and talk about it. Excellent.
Yeah.
March 9th, Apex Legends, guys. It's free to play. I assume they wouldn't charge on Switch while they're not charging for any other system. All right, our first ever PlayStation news. This is regarding the PS5 VR. I did have the PS4 VR, and I thought it was cool. I just don't have a big enough room or area to actually enjoy fully PlayStation VR. So I did get it. I thought it was cool. Motion was a little, oh crap, this is a little weird. But so this is what they say. You can actually go to it's officially PlayStation website. I think it's kind of like their vlog or blog or whatever it's called. So it says, taking what they've learned from the PS4 VR and will enhance everything from resolution, field of view, to tracking to input. So it'll connect to so this is what a lot of people are excited for. It'll connect to the PS5 with a single cord. If you got the PS4 Pro, if you had the PS4 Pro, came with this box, and it had like exaggeration, 13 wires that had to connect in all these different places. And so let's say you had it connected for a year, you lost your manual, blah, 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 because who needs manuals? We're men. We don't need manuals. And so you unplug it to move it to a different area. Then you've got these 4 or 5 different wires. Like, how do I set this up again? So one single wire to the PS5 is fantastic. The new VR controller, which will incorporate some of the key features found in the DualSense wireless controller and will focus on great ergonomics. I think that's a rap song, great ergonomics. So have you guys played with that new DualSense controller for PlayStation? PS5?
I haven't personally, so I really wouldn't know much about it.
Lee?
Personally, I play the PlayStation 4.
Okay.
I haven't played it either, but I do sort of want to.
So my oldest kid has the PS5, and that controller is really amazing. And it pains me to say because I really love Xbox. I'm not a fanboy, kids. I do have a PlayStation sitting right here. And just to prove, here's my PS4 controller. I love my Xbox, but that PS5 DualSense controller it's a thing of beauty. When they say DualSense, it's legit. Like you feel so much different stuff in different areas of the controller. When you're pressing down, like you feel like a good resistance, and oh my gosh. And they actually brought out a little mini game that comes with a PS5 to showcase the controller.
Okay.
It's legit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's legit. It's so fun. It's so cool.
The design for the PlayStation 5 over the Xbox Series X, I think PlayStation nailed it with the design for the PlayStation 5. However, it is huge.
It is huge. I tweeted out a picture of 2 of them side by side. I love my Series X. It's a cube. It's a fridge. And a giant kudos to Xbox for actually building an Xbox fridge that looks like the Series X. I love it.
But, I just would love one, but there's no stock at all. And I literally am looking every day, every other day, looking and out of stock. So I don't know when I'll be able to get my hands on one.
Yeah. So the PS4 or PS5 VR is launching not in 2021. And so they don't actually have a release date, but you know what? The VR thing, I'm not sure if it's going to fully catch on. But there's a lot of VR options out there, and it is kind of cool. So we'll have to stay tuned for some PS5 VR stuff.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so here we are on March 3rd, this week that we were in. Nintendo had their 4-year anniversary for Nintendo Switch, or their birthday for Nintendo Switch, which was awesome. So I dug up a few facts about Nintendo Switch in the 4 years, and it's a little mind-blowing. But Nintendo Switch has sold just under 80 million units worldwide in the 4 years. Wow. And so, like, when you think about it, Nintendo was always trying to catch up, but they're not really competing with the big guys, so not necessarily catching up.
Yeah, I think, I liked the Wii U, but I think they had to look at how... I don't think the Wii U sold as well as it should have.
Oh, no. It wasn't good.
Because they knew that, and they took responsibility for that.
Yep.
They knew that with the next system, they have to bring it out of the bag. They have to hit it out of the park. And I think with the Switch, they've done that. And especially with lockdown and COVID, so many more sales for the Switch have arisen because of that. A lot of people, even Shaba mentioned it. When it was locked down, she wanted to get hold of a Switch.
Yes.
And her and Matt mentioned that. And they've got the edition of the Switch that I wanted.
Oh, did they? Did they get the Mario one?
They've got the Animal Crossing Switch.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we have that one.
And I couldn't get hold of it.
No, that's cool.
But yeah, I think in terms of they looked at the statistics for the poor sales and etc. for the Wii U, and they took responsibility of that. They were like, yeah, we know it wasn't the best console we had done. Yep. Don't worry, we will bring it out with the next one. We will make sure that it's going to sell well. It's going to do exactly what it says, and people are going to enjoy the console for what it is. And they did that with the Switch. And I think finally, after 4 years, I finally got a Switch.
Yep. and Lee as well.
So, and I'm addicted to my Switch now. So.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Lee, now that you are a new Nintendo Switch owner, what do you think are the pros and cons of the Nintendo Switch? It's kind of like putting you on the spot right now, even though you haven't really had much time to fool around with it.
Well, I think I think there's a lot a big pro with Nintendo Switch. So there's a lot of versatility.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are so many different ways to play on one console that you can and I've just got like you can get the Lite, which is the handheld one, which is cheaper if you haven't got so much of a budget. You've got the standard where you can play it with Joy-Con separately. You can play it with them together. You can play it with one Joy-Con with a friend and one with you. You can hook it up to the TV. There's so many different varieties to play on one console, which I think is great for the Nintendo Switch, because they really sort of melded together the portability of the 3DSs and the actual console capability that the other consoles would have.
Yep.
Like the Wii and the Wii U, but like it may not be the best at it, but it's able to do it. It's like I sort of look at it like a Swiss Army knife. Like yes, you can have better knives, but the Swiss Army knife also has a corkscrew and a screwdriver, that sort of thing.
Yep.
So it can do a lot more.
No, that's cool. Good analogy. Look at you, superstar. Nice. Jake, do you have any pros or cons? Maybe some cons. Have you got any?
For the Switch, I think my main con really isn't for me, but for many other people. Like you just mentioned, I think it's the Joy-Cons. It sort of a lot of people don't like the Joy-Cons because they're too small, and I think that's one of the main issues. And also, I think that luckily I can hold them in my hands, whereas if you try and hold them, they don't fit.
It doesn't fit good, yeah.
I think maybe one of the cons for the Switch is maybe the UI. I think maybe it could have just maybe a little bit more freedom and creativity with it.
Yeah.
I think with the Wii U, it was a really cool system, in terms of the UI, because you saw loads of different people's Miis and you could see what everyone was playing at the same time. I think if they implemented that on the Switch, it would have still been really cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, like a Mii market sort of thing.
Yeah. But in terms of that, I think they're really the only two cons that I've spotted so far.
Yep.
But yeah, luckily I can hold these, but I don't really use them outside of if they're connected to the tablet, they'll stay on the tablet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if I'm not using them, I'll just use that.
Sure.
So,
yep.
I think.
Lee, do you have a Pro controller?
No, I don't have Pro controller yet.
Sorry, Jake, I cut you off there. Keep going.
You don't really need one. I think it's more or less if you're playing games like Splatoon or whatever like that, then a Pro controller is definitely something that be recommended.
Yeah, for sure. Like for me, there's a few things I want to see, but I won't talk about that yet because we got another subject. But like you mentioned, my thumb literally covers all 4 buttons.
Mine literally. There's room for my fingers to go around it, because you've got bigger hands than me, so yours covers the whole of it, but you can still see part of mine.
Yeah, so, it's wild, but that was. But they have the Pro controller for guys like me, which is totally fine, except for the games they make you use that. So honestly, I love my Switch. I really do. I don't like playing in handheld mode, but last couple nights since I've started getting back into Animal Crossing again, I've been sitting out on the couch while we're watching stuff playing Animal Crossing, and Steph did as well, which was awesome last night. 2 of us playing Animal Crossing while we're watching TV. So that was cool.
What I'm using at the moment is the little sort of
there you go.
Yes, have them both at once.
Yeah,
that's what I've got at the moment, and I think that looks well.
That is a really good alternative, Lee. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't even know where mine is, but that's an awesome alternative.
I was using this to play Splatoon, but recently, for some reason, when this Joy-Con, this one's put into it, when I'm using the analog stick, if I'm pointing it up, for some reason, it will look down.
Okay,
I think someone mentioned about
inverted controls.
Controls. I checked and they're not inverted.
Okay,
so I don't know why. doing that. But since I've started using my Pro controller, especially playing Splatoon, the differences that I have seen, I can actually play Splatoon more like freely whilst using it, and I can get more kills. So that's always good.
There you go. Good stuff. So
but yeah,
when I organized our 4-year anniversary chat, I had the next question is, will we be getting a Switch Pro? And then I submitted all the info to the guys, and then bam, like that night or the next morning, I woke up to crazy information that leaked about the Switch Pro. Whether it's going to be called the Super Nintendo Switch Pro, it doesn't matter what the name is. They brought it. They talked about, and this is straight from Bloomberg, so it's not one of those gossip things. The main screen will be 7 inches, so it's look like so when you have the black area all around, it looks like the screen will be from like here to here. So that's cool. So that'll be 7-inch, and they're saying it's going to be a OLED screen with 720p resolution, which is pretty freaking awesome. And they're actually working with Samsung to get these out. When it's docked, the rumor is, now these are just rumors, right? And a lot of people are so tired of Nintendo rumors, but I get excited and I love it. The 4K display when docked. I have a 4K TV out in the living room, but this where I game off of and stream off of, this is not 4K. This is an ugly screen. So now I need to get a 4K, and I need to get an Elgato that's 4K. Anyways, getting off topic. It may be coming out Christmas this year, guys. So so Samsung is working. They're saying that they can pump out these 7-inch OLED screens, 1 million a month. Starting in, I think they said June. So that's 6 months. That'll be almost 6 million units for the Switch Pro. I'm on board.
Wow, that's insane.
I'm on board if it comes out Christmas this year, but with the Chinese New Year's and stuff, it goes from March to March. So it could be March, which is totally fine. Either way, I'm freaking out. I'm excited. I don't want to see exclusivity games coming to the Switch Pro, so that forces you to buy a Switch Pro. But with the new Breath of the Wild 2, with a couple new games, with the new Pokemon Arceus that's coming out,
that'd be cool.
I could see them being announced to go along with the Switch Pro, boys. I really could.
Yeah, I think it could, especially to utilize it to its fullest potential. Yeah. Especially with Pokemon, Zelda, and all that on a 4K screen. Like, just imagine, the excitement.
It's beautiful. 60 frames per second. Lee, are you interested in Switch Pro, even though you just bought a Nintendo Switch?
I mean, I've got mixed feelings on that.
I knew you would. I want your input anyways.
We know you get a Switch, and then the Switch Pro gets announced, and then Paul's like, "You got to get a Switch Pro now, Lee."
Exactly. So before you go on, Lee, I'm so sorry. I'm going to cut you off here first because apparently these 7-inch OLED screens are really cheap to make. So that could keep the price low and competitive with the Nintendo Switch normally now. Anyways, go ahead, Lee.
Well, I think I think if you're able to get it, then great. I mean, I think the numbers that they're dishing out are quite ambitious. I think so. For me, at least, I'm going to be reserving my expectations on that.
Sure.
Like 1 million a month. That seems like quite a lot.
And we're still in COVID time too, right?
Yeah. I mean, if they're able to meet the mark, then awesome. But I'm not so sure whether they can do that.
Okay. Nice. All right. Look at Lee. Skeptic. Lee, you're just crushing my dreams right now. JK, what about you, sir? Are you interested in a Switch Pro?
Yes.
You and I are both like little happy schoolboys. Yes.
Yeah. Primarily because the version of the Switch I've got, it was the only one I got, and I hate it.
Oh, you do?
I got the Fortnite edition of my Switch.
Oh.
Yeah, and on the back, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. Fortnite characters.
That doesn't bother me at all. What bothers me is on the right Joy-Con, there's that little illustration of the bus. that really.
Oh no! It's just like taking your Switch, spitting on it.
That's why I want to get another pair of Joy-Cons, so this one can go in my drawer, and I'll never have to see it again.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I think I would get one. So then, if I can sell this, I'm like, yeah, take this. I don't want this version anymore. But yeah, like I think I would definitely be up for getting one. Definitely, I've waited 4 years to get a Switch. I've got a Switch, and then now that they're announcing another Switch, might as well get another Switch.
It's not official yet, guys, but you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
But if they do, yeah, I'll be getting it because I want to get rid of that. I don't like that version.
If anyone has an extra Nintendo Switch to save Jake from a Fortnite Switch, feel free to send it to him. He's in the UK.
Please do.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. What I want to see is customizable backgrounds for my Nintendo Switch. I want to see. Shoot, I just had it too, and it's gone. I don't know what I was going to say. I knew what I was going to say, and then I forgot what I was going to say. So, anyways, that's that. I'm excited for it. I already told Steph about it. She's like, "You're going to want that, aren't you?" I was like, "Yes, I will. I will want that." So,
she knows. She knows already. She knows what you love.
And so here we are, guys, and this is exciting. Breath of the Wild as well turned 4 years old, which is I'm an OG Nintendo Legend of Zelda fan, and I love Breath of the Wild. I haven't beaten it yet. I've got 100 hours in, and there's just so much to do still.
Yeah.
A Link to the Past for the SNES was my favorite. I love the OG, the original, the NES. That's the first one I played. I played it when it came out. Gorgeous. But Breath of the Wild, if I just take everything in, I know it doesn't have your original classic dungeons and stuff like that. It has the core,
but it's added a whole lot of new elements to it, which makes it unique.
It's crazy, and I'd like to see the dungeons come back as well. But you cannot knock Breath of the Wild on its scope, its grandeur, and all of this amazing stuff. It's
beautiful.
A brilliant game. I love Breath of the Wild. It's a masterpiece what they did, and
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Now, Jake, do you have that game?
I had it on the Wii U.
Yes.
I haven't got it for the Switch yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, in comparison to the Switch version, the Wii U version, it felt a lot clunkier compared to the Switch version, probably. Yep. But yeah, when I played it on the Wii U, I was blown away with it. And I hadn't played a Zelda game in almost 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
So going into that, after having a long hiatus from the Zelda series, I sort of was a bit annoyed that I had let myself be missed out on many good Zelda games probably in between that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's one of the best games I've played.
Lee, I streamed it a few times. I'm not sure if you were around when I was streaming. I remember streaming and this is, I talk about this memory all the time. I remember streaming Breath of the Wild, and the only person that was with me was Kimberly.
Oh,
and that's why every time I see her, I absolutely love her. I'm super excited when she hops in the stream. Kimberly, you know I love you, and I'll talk about that memory. She was the only one that would hang out with me while I'm playing Breath of the Wild. It was awesome. So, Lee, were you around for those streaming days for Breath of the Wild?
I don't believe I was. I think when Kimmy B was there a lot, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I think I didn't arrive there until...
I wasn't playing The Walking Dead yet.
Yeah. No. I arrived during The Walking Dead.
Yes, you did.
But yeah, I would have been there if I knew you were there.
Absolutely, you would have been, Lee. I do appreciate that. So happy birthday, Nintendo! Happy birthday, Breath of the Wild! I love you. Plain and simple. Jakey, you've got some Xbox Game Pass announcements for me.
Yeah, so coming this week and mainly March 4th and I think in April. So we've got NBA 2K21 that's coming to the Game Pass.
Crazy. That game just came out in November and it's fantastic. And it's a pain in the butt and it's fantastic. It's all the same. Anyways, I'm a basketball fan. That's cool that that's on Game Pass.
We've got Star Wars Rogue Squadron coming in March as well, which I haven't played yet, so I'm very much looking forward to playing that.
I got to play on the free play weekends, and I was uniquely surprised because you play both sides, and it was cool.
We've got NHL 21, which is coming out in April sometime. Yep. They haven't confirmed it yet, but it says sometime in April. We've got Madden NFL 21, which is currently out now. It's the most recent game that's come to the Game Pass.
Crazy.
And then we've got Football Manager 2021 for the Xbox Game Pass. So quite a few sports games coming out.
which is crazy. Now, Football Manager, for me, to me, in my mind, that's like Madden, but no. Yeah. In our UK friends, like these two guys, that is actual soccer for us in North America.
Yeah.
And so I've not played a Football Manager. Overall, I'm not a big fan of soccer, a.k.a. football. But the Madden NFL 21, I know it's the exact same every year. That's why I don't buy them. But the fact that they're coming out, if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you get the EA Sports with it too, which is fantastic. There's no better deals in gaming than the Xbox Game Pass, hands down.
Absolutely, yeah,
hands down. Over 100 games to play. They're swapped out weekly or bi-weekly.
You're saving yourself a ton of money.
Yep.
In reality, especially nowadays, they're bringing brand new like launch games to the Games Pass. So
Lee, you don't have an Xbox, but so I want to talk to Jake about this for a sec. I started playing the Medium yesterday.
Okay, I saw that.
Which is Xbox exclusive, and oh my gosh, it is good.
You should stream it one day.
I know I should. I should stream it. It's dark. It's she's a medium, and so she can she's in the real world, of course,
right?
But she can also walk dead spirits into their afterlife, sort of thing.
Nice.
And the story is going from there. It's freaky. It's good. It's dark. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. And I sent out a tweet and I'm like, damn, this game is so good. It legit is good. And that's not an Xbox fan because I don't like. Lee's already been there for horror games that I stream. I do not like horror games. I love horror movies.
I haven't yet.
No, I'm too timid. I'm too scared because you got these things on, and that's different from. And I'm playing. Okay, so when I'm playing a horror game, you're like this. If you're watching a horror movie, you can actually see something scary coming up, and you're like you're looking a little bit, but like you can keep your eyes closed, and no one will know the difference. But when you're playing a game, these guys like Lee are sitting there staring at me. And there was one moment I was playing. I forget the game it was. Anyways, I'm walking down this hallway and this monster jumped out and and it scared the crap out of me, and all of a sudden the clipboard came up right in front of my face. And that was a huge meme on my channel, and I forget the game. Kenny Blum keeps telling me to play it. It just, horror games are not a big fan of them. Lee, I know.
Is it like Home Sweet Home or something like that?
Yes, it is Home Sweet Home. I was playing that, scared the crap out of me. Anyways, I didn't finish the game, just as a heads up, but the Medium, you guys got to play.
You really should.
No, I shouldn't.
Lee, tell him.
No.
Finish the game and finish Adrift.
No to Adrift. Yeah. I was so frustrated. Anyways, I'll get onto a tangent and I'll bash the creators. And anyways, so Lee, we're going to you, my man. We are going to talk about, each week we're going to do this, guys, because I'm an old-time gamer. These guys are young pups. And so I can live my glory talking about some of this old stuff with these young dudes. And so Lee's going to take us each week a segment on This Week in Gaming. And we're going to take the full week. Right now it's going to be March 1st through the 7th. Games that came out during that time, and we'll just quickly elaborate on them. And I'm super excited for this segment. Lee, let's get her started.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of them.
Yes.
Star Fox, March 1st, there was Star Fox. It was released in North America.
So
in
great
1993.
game. Great game, by the way, gentlemen. I loved it. It was polygonal, which you look back on now and you're like, ooh, but it is really good. Go ahead, Lee.
1995, the soundtrack of Donkey Kong Country titled DK Jams was released.
Never heard of that. Okay.
No, it sounds DK Jams. It sounds
DK Jams.
Yeah. 1997, the Nintendo 64 was released in Europe and Australia.
Okay.
So guess that was great.
Yes.
1997, Wayne's Gretzky 3D Hockey was released in Europe.
Yeah.
On the Nintendo 64.
Which wasn't too bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't too bad. And I just take a second to rip to Walter Gretzky. That's Wayne Gretzky's dad, known as the Great Dad, who was honestly an amazing man. And Wayne Gretzky, of course, is an amazing too. And so the next two I'm super excited about. Go ahead, Lee. For this all for March 1st, okay?
Yeah. 1997, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire was released in Europe.
I loved Shadows of the Empire, gentlemen. It is so good. I don't know how good it is now, but back then I loved it. We are going to do a full theme, Star Wars theme video game podcast. We will do that in the future. Yeah. We'll probably wait until this big Star Wars games comes out, but Lee and I will have some discussions. And Jake, I think, is a Star Wars fan too, but Lee and I will have discussions. And anyways, go ahead. And Lee, the last one for March 1st?
1998, Super Punch-Out was released in Japan on the SNES.
So I gotta say, Super Punch-Out is fun, but Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is better. I just want to say that. And that was for the NES, but Punch-Out for the SNES. I'm pretty sure that's the same as the arcade version, where you actually get to see the dude, and he had the green mesh body. I think that's what it was for the SNES. But anyways, all right, March 2nd, my man.
There's only one for March 2nd, 2006. The Nintendo DS Lite was launched in Japan.
Okay.
Nice. I never had that. Yeah. I never had the Lite.
I didn't either. The only DS I had was, I think, the 3DS.
I had the original when it came out in 2004.
But you had a Game Boy too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a Game Boy, Game Advance SP, had all of them handheld as a kid.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I had the old DS and I had a 3DS, but I never had a DS Lite. And I believe I had a Game Boy Color. But that I think that was probably the first thing that I ever had.
Nice.
So I have fond memories of that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, March 3rd.
In 2000, the ECW Hardcore Revolution was released in Europe on the N64.
Okay.
Can't say I know much about that.
It's more North American thing. ECW. It was basically Extreme Championship Wrestling, and it was intense.
Oh, right, okay.
It was intense.
I like games. They're all awesome. Yeah.
In 2008, the Major League Basketball 2K8 was released in North America. Baseball.
So the 2K series,
North America.
The rip to the MLB 2K series, which was a really good basketball game or baseball game. I just did it, Lee. Baseball game, and then they just fizzled out because they just didn't care anymore. So rip to the MLB 2K series.
Right.
Here's a big one.
And here's what we've sort of been talking about. 2017, the Nintendo Switch was released worldwide, along with Breath of the Wild, the 19th game in the Zelda series.
19th?
19th, which is released on the Switch and the Wii U.
I didn't know there was 19 games for Legend of Zelda. That's got to be like the Game Boy and all that other stuff.
That blows my mind. 19 games.
Okay. All right, March 4th.
March 4th, 2008, Bully Scholarship Edition was released in North America on the Wii.
That was a fun game. It really was.
That was a brilliant game.
I want to see Bully 2022. I want to see that come out.
I think Rockstar a while ago that they said that they want to sort of bring back the Bully series.
Can you, in the cancel culture, soft culture that we're in now? Everybody's sensitive towards it. Like Pepe Le Pew now is a rapist, according to everybody on Twitter. It's trending right now. Trending right now. He perpetuated rape culture, and so there's a cancel Pepe Le Pew.
Okay.
And anyways, we won't even get on that. But
yeah,
can you do that in 2021? Topic. Yeah, very sensitive topic. You're right. All right, keep going.
I didn't know Bully was on the Wii.
I didn't know.
It was called Canis. I think it was called either Bully or it was called Canis Canem Edit.
Okay.
Because I think that was also the PlayStation 2 version because it was called Canis Canem. And then they released it on the PlayStation 4 and it was called Canis Canem Edit. But I think it was either called just Bully on the Wii or Canis Canem. So I'll have to look that up. But
for the 360, I had Bully the Scholarship Edition, which I thought was funny.
That was I love that game so much.
Lee, 2008 again.
The Ninja Reflex was released in North America on the Wii.
Nope.
Don't know anything about that. 2011, Pokemon Black and White was released in Europe. Not sure what the popularity was for that, for Pokemon Black and White.
Probably huge.
Yeah.
March 5th, 2001, Conquer Bad Fur Day was released in North America.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
I just want to say you did miss on March 4th, the last one, 2016, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD was released in North America for the Wii U. I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that. Keep going, Lee. It's all good. March 5th.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that one. 2007, Wario Master of Disguise was released in North America on the DS. Wario does not seem like the type of guy who could master a disguise.
No, not at all.
2010, the Nintendo DSi XL was launched in Europe.
Okay.
I never had any of the XL sort of Nintendo stuff.
I did for the 3DS. I had the red XL one. I liked it. I thought it was great.
Nice.
Right, awesome. March 6th, 1987, Mickey Mouse.
Mousecapade.
Yeah, Mousecapade was released in Japan on the NES.
Yep.
In 1993, the Pro Sport Hockey was released in Japan.
Weird, eh?
Yeah, say again. Sorry.
I was just saying, like, to see a pro sport hockey, you wouldn't think that would be something that would be released in Japan, but
yeah, you didn't think it would be popular at all in Japan.
Nope.
2006, Pokemon Trozy.
Troze? I don't know.
Yeah, was released in North America on the DS. That sounds good. 2008, Metroid Prime 3.
Yep.
Great.
Was released in Japan on the Wii. 2011, Pokemon Black and White was released in North America for the DS.
Okay.
So that came a couple of days after for Europe. In 2020, so last year, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX was released worldwide for the Switch.
Okay.
Nice.
March 7th, 1983, Donkey Kong 2 was released for as a Game Watch game for in America.
Yeah.
In 2002, the NHL 2002 was released in North America for the Game
Boy Advance. That's really weird to see NHL 2002 be released in March on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
So that was this week in history, gaming history of different games that were released. I really like that. There's some really good stuff in there. Stuff I haven't even heard of, don't have a clue. The Pokemon Trozi, have you heard of that, Jake?
I actually hadn't. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, it came out in 2006 on March 6th, which is crazy.
Oh, okay.
All right, next up is our Players Pulse. Lee, Players Pulse is what are gamers playing on Twitch and or YouTube for this week. What are the top 5 games being streamed right now?
The top 5 games. Do you want to start at 5th or 1st?
It's up to you, buddy.
We'll start at 5th. In 5th place, it's Minecraft.
Okay.
Okay.
In 4th, with the amount of streamers, almost 170,000 streamers. streaming Minecraft, so that's insane.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. For League of Legends that's fourth. So that's with, weirdly enough, a less amount of streamers, but a lot more like watch time and stream time. So that would bring it up, the average up.
I know why, by the way, but we won't talk about it. So go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Third place, it's Apex Legends.
What? In third place?
Yeah, in third place for Apex Legends.
Oh, the game's dying, I heard. Remember, buddy on stream, Dragon Sphere? Oh, the game's dying. Yeah, third right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was just to get you going too, Jake, which I thought was
I think
awesome.
so. I think it was, yeah.
All right. Wow. Number 2. Here we go.
Yeah, number 2 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Okay.
With, strangely enough, like a very low watch time. But the amount of streamers is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in first place, of course, it's Fortnite.
Still. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually
so
surprised by the whole Fortnite thing, guys. I really am.
Yeah.
Oh, Lee, thank you, dude. That, to me, honestly, let me know in the comments below, guys. Are any of that surprising to you? A couple of them are to me. I'm really like League of Legends. I thought would be number 1 because of the amount of simps, and that, we're just gonna leave it. We're not gonna say anything, okay? Pink sparkles. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so we are gonna hop into the trivia section. I'm keeping track of our scores. I was doing good our first week, and then the second week, not so good. So I have 2 points. Jake has 4 points. And Logan, you have 4 points. And Logan, aka Lightsy, since she wasn't here the first week, she's not here the third week, she still is beating, or she's tied with me. And she has 2 points, all because of Pokemon last week. And so Lee's going to give us 3 multiple choice questions. And Lee, what do we have today?
Right. So we've got 3 questions. First question is, how many power stars can you get, like the maximum power stars in Mario 64?
All right.
Is it 120, 130, 140, or 150?
Jakey, I know the answer. If you want to go,
120.
Yeah, it's 120. Crap, Jake.
Yeah, it's 120.
I've played it all the way through.
All right, Lee.
But interestingly, for the DS, there were 150.
Yeah.
So there were 30 more.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Next question is which console was released first? You probably both know this, but which console was released first? For the 3 titans, the NES, the Xbox, or the PS1.
Okay.
Right, the first one of each.
Oh God.
Okay, hold on. I don't think I'm following the question. Are you asking me which one was released first, the NES, the Xbox, or PS1?
Yeah. Which one was released first?
All right. So what are our options? Just those 3, right?
Yeah. The NES, the first Xbox, and the PS1.
It's the NES.
Yeah. NES.
That was in the 80s. When I was a kid.
I thought you meant Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. That's what I thought you meant, but I obviously heard it wrong. My bad.
Oh, right,
no, it's all good.
Sorry.
All right, what do you got, Lee? Last question.
And the last question is, what was the original release date for Cyberpunk 2077? Because it got delayed a lot.
Yes, it did.
So what was the original release date? Was it March 31st, April 26th, April 16th, May 19th, or June 7th?
Jakey, what do you got?
I'm not gonna. So was the first one March?
Yeah, March 31st.
I think that was too early. and I think June was too late. So I'm going to say April.
Crap, that's what I was going to say. I'm saying April as well.
Yeah, it was April.
Was it?
16th.
Jake, stop
Yeah.
it. I need to catch up.
You'll catch up for 1 week.
Shoot. All right, Lee, you and I will get together next week, and we'll go over the questions and the right answers, and then we'll go ahead and do the trivia without Jake.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Just let you catch up, because right now, look it. Look.
This is terrible.
But yeah, it was originally going to come out in April 16th, but then it got moved to September, and then to November, and it's just, it got pushed back a lot.
And it still should have been pushed back a lot.
Yeah, that the game
needed refining.
Yeah.
You know,
I had fun with it. I had 60 hours in, and I just couldn't do it anymore because it kept crashing on me. And when they brought out the if you have too much stuff in your bag, whatever, you could have a corrupt save, and I was like, I'm done. I'm not playing it anymore. Yeah, so they have fixed it, but I couldn't put 60 hours into a game and then have to start over because of a glitch. So
definitely. Yeah, that would have stopped me playing it then.
All right, we're headed to Listener's Corner, and gentlemen, I have a question, and Lee, we're going to go to you first. Listener's Corner: will PlayStation survive after Xbox acquires all their exclusive games?
I think they will. I think PlayStation will persevere. There will be a lot of hardcore PlayStation fans that will keep it alive until PlayStation will find a way to get even better exclusives, and then the battle will continue between the two titans.
If I had an egg, I'd throw it right at you. I'm just kidding. Speaking from an Xbox fan. Jakey, what about you, sir?
I would say, they will survive. I mean, PlayStation is so, it's so big. This is just one little hump in the hurdle. They'll come over it. They'll jump over it. They will then bring it back with a whole, a new set of games that will then keep PlayStation going. I think that, it won't stop. I think it was just a hurdle that they will come up to. They will then jump over it, and then they will just continue going in that direction. So that's how I see it.
All right, my thoughts, and this is coming from being in the game industry for so long, blah blah blah. If PlayStation doesn't do something in the next couple years to counter Game Pass, PlayStation will fall behind. I'm not saying they won't survive, because they do have a hardcore bunch of people. They do have the better exclusives. But the way Xbox is rolling, acquiring Bethesda, they will. Rumor is they are acquiring another big development company. We don't know yet, which will probably bring exclusives to Xbox again. Game Pass, games with gold, all of this stuff. Game Pass Ultimate that now has EA access with it. It's too good. And Xbox is actually hitting the ball out of the park. And you're finding now, especially with with people's budgets, games are so expensive, gaming is so expensive that the Game Pass Ultimate for $14 a month plus taxes get you 100 plus games and new games and plus exclusives.
Yeah,
I can play all of the Destiny stuff on my Xbox Series X because I have Xbox Game Ultimate. I can play the brand new, the Medium. I can play a bunch of Yakuza games. There's a whole bunch of them on Game Pass Ultimate. I don't got to pay anything extra. I don't got to buy them. If I like it, sure, I could buy it. For the Series X, the Planet Roller Coaster game, love it. It's beautiful. It's so much fun. The music will get you. You could sit there and just listen to the music, and everything's so happy. That's free on Xbox Game Pass. So those that are on a budget, those that can only afford a few games a year, Xbox is the way to go right now.
Definitely, in really terms of the variety as well. I think it's not just one particular genre. There's a variety of genres that can be appreciated by anyone.
Yep.
It's not just shooters. There's adventure games. There's puzzle games. There's a variety.
Like look at your Game Pass announcement you read today. We got NBA 2K21, which is a new game in November. I paid full price for that. I wish I hadn't have. If I had waited a few months, bam, I got it for Xbox Game Pass. The new Madden, the new NHL comes out next month. These are games that are in Canada $100, but I can get them for my Xbox Game Pass, play them, have fun, and boom, I'm good. So we're going to see, guys. And I honestly don't think Xbox is trying to compete with PlayStation anymore. I think Xbox is just trying to take over everything and just come on. And the Game Pass, or was it the Xbox Game ID program that they have for developers to come into their system, into their ecosystem, all get paid either way.
Yeah.
Xbox has got it. They really
and
do.
Also, there's EA Play available, which allows you to download EA exclusive games on the Xbox, which none of them I don't think they'll ever remove them, because ever since, because originally it was EA Access.
Yep.
And they rebranded it to EA Play. I mean, none of the games on there have been removed, and EA Play's been on there for a good 2-3 years, and there's all the Mass Effect games you can play on there, the Plants vs Zombies games you can play on there.
Yeah.
So there's a variety of games available. Like the Star Wars games. So
I just can't see PlayStation like, you know what, we need a Game Pass sort of thing. And even if they did do that, are they going to be whipping out billions like they're just like candy shop money to purchase systems or development companies? I can't see it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
that's
true. That's true.
We're all winning, guys, as gamers. Either way, no matter if you're playing on Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, or we want to mention Stadia, whatever. I don't even know what that is. We're all winning as gamers, and this is top notch. And what a great day to be a gamer. Lee, you look like you got something to say, sir.
This stream is not sponsored by Xbox.
It's not. You're right. Yes, and here I'll spit the goodness of Xbox all the time. Like you can see this little picture here. Like, look at this. Yeah. This is when Xbox Series X was released. They asked you to send a picture of you with your Xbox on Twitter. So I did.
Oh, well, and then that's everyone.
That's all these little squares is everybody that was submitted their picture.
I'm jealous.
I'm in there. And it's thousands of little photos. What do they call that?
I'm jealous right now.
Yeah, it's incredible. So when I got it, I got my poster in, and it was free. For all you Xbox fans, let's do it. It's free. And I just thought that was mind-blowing. And so I love it.
That is so cool.
I love it. Anyways, guys, that is it for today's podcast. This was lots of fun, lots of good information. Guys, leave a comment below, everybody. Leave a comment, leave questions, give us feedback. I read everything. I reply to everything that's on there. So please go ahead. These guys love hearing your feedback as well. Join our Discord for the whole Pokemon Snap event. There is an actual Pokemon Snap page there. Right now it's locked because we haven't done the announcement yet, but this has kind of been the announcement. So we're excited. Lots of fun things happening on this channel. And you see these guys every day. On my channel, I stream every day. We have a good time. So, Lee, any final thoughts? Anything?
No, I haven't got anything.
Cool, Jakey?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Guys, next week we'll be back with more lots of goodness like this. So my name is Paul, and as for Lee, as for Jakey, and as for Missing Lightsy, you guys take care.